Welcome to Voices for Impact, the podcast. Started during the COVID-19 pandemic and made in Syracuse, Voices for Impact is full of conversations with thought leaders from around the world that have made significant accomplishments in their lives and have gone through their own challenges, but have made it through those adversities and made positive impacts through their work. I'm your host, Danielle Mensing, and as a fundraiser for a nonprofit, I believe the most valuable tool you can give yourself is making a positive impact on others and your community. Every conversation is going to give you tools and tactics from entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and change makers that will encourage you to develop a growth mindset and reimagine how you can find your purpose. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Voices for Impact. My name is Danielle Mensing, founder of Voices for Impact, and today I am chatting with Logan Bonney. He is the CEO of Anything But Beer, a craft beer alternatives brewery located in downtown Syracuse. Logan received a master's in entrepreneurship at SU and served in the Air National Guard. He came up with Anything But Beer based on his research performed at SU and entrepreneurship boot camp for veterans. The brewery manufactures and markets alcoholic craft beverages for consumers who don't like the taste of beer or are gluten grain-free. And the drinks are made with locally sourced fruits and fruit juices and are grain hop-free. And all products are naturally vegan. So thank you so much for having a conversation with me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your background. You went to SU for entrepreneurship. What is the background story behind Anything But Beer?
Yeah, so a long time ago, I actually used to be in an organization called the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism. Is the people who run the medieval festivals. If you've ever been to the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah.
That group actually also teaches historical sciences. So back when I was 21, a lot of those like historian fanatics were teaching me how to make wines and meads. And fast forward a couple of years at Syracuse University studying entrepreneurship, I started with the alcohol industry because really it was just the easiest way to get a team together. If you join my team and do research with me, I'll make free wine for everybody.
Love it.
So we had our group of, what would it be called? They were all doing their Master's in Business Administration, and I was in parallel with their program for the Master's in Entrepreneurship program.
Yeah.
And we were doing research in the alcoholic beverage industry to see if there was any unmet needs. And we found that there was a large group of people who didn't like the taste of beer and felt left out of the craft beer industry, along with people who had dietary restrictions. And the same thing, they want to go out and enjoy the craft beer industry with their friends, but they're being excluded from that experience. I did research into the state and federal laws for what is possible to brew, and we came with some recipes that taste like a combination between wine, beer, and cider with different flavor profiles that don't currently exist in the craft beer industry. So we made different craft beer alternatives out of locally sourced fruits, vegetables, and spices, making original flavor profiles such as we make a ginger chai apple ale, we do a coffee infused Japanese pumpkin beer. What else? We just made a beer called Hindsight, and it's a 20.20 alcohol content.
Nice. I like that.
There's so many possibilities that just weren't really being explored by the craft beer industry. So we just want to take it to left field and see what was possible. And
excuse my ignorance, but have you bottled this stuff up yet and like have it in Wegmans?
Yeah, so we're not available in Wegmans yet. You have to be pretty big in order to take on those accounts. Right now, we're in a bunch of different local bars and breweries. We slowed down distribution during the COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, there was no customers because all the restaurants and bars closed down, but we're slowly bringing it back up. All our products are available at the restaurant that we have in downtown Syracuse, and which is just called Anything But Beer. And we do the farmers market in Syracuse every Saturday as well, where we sample 3 products at a time.
I think that's so awesome. That is like the perfect business idea, right? You're serving a market, there's a need there, and I'm one of those people that does not like beer. I actually love honey mead. So when you mentioned the medieval festival and that, and I was like, oh my God, I love the honey mead that was there. So the things that you're doing and creating over there is just so innovative and amazing. And I'm sure you'll wind up in Wegmans soon. Wegmans, if you're listening, get the Anything But beer stuff and drinks in your store. So tell me, like, what drives you?
I mean, this what's taught at Syracuse University in the entrepreneurship program and even at the EBB program is being consumer oriented. So it's really about people. So we find a need. There is a lot of people who want to participate in the craft beer industry, who want to go out with their friends and enjoy the craft experience, but it was inaccessible to them. So right now it's how do we make this industry more accessible so that anybody can go out and enjoy food they can eat and beer they can drink with their friends.
Yeah, I love that. So what advice do you have for a young entrepreneur or somebody starting a business that you wish you would have known when you were starting out?
I think one of the biggest errors I think people make is being too self-oriented and not being consumer-oriented. So I may have an idea and I think it's a great idea. I may love it, but an idea is like a baby. Yes, you love your baby, but maybe everybody else doesn't love your baby. It may not be a pretty baby. Really, you want to go out into the world and ask other people, what do they want? Because you're not going to buy your own. I mean, you can buy your own product, but that's not a business. That's a hobby. Like you want to find a real need that people have that's not being met and fix it for them, because that's the best business model you could ever put together.
Right. And that's exactly what you're doing. Now, what advice, of course, in business, you have to overcome a lot of challenges. So what's some advice of that you might have for others on overcoming challenges, and it may be an example you've had?
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic was definitely a challenge. I think everyone has similar experience, but at the end of the day, it's figure out what you need to do, think, and make a decision. We had to move quickly and just focus on survival so that you can be around when the opportunity comes back up to grow again. And even in that tumultuous time, don't forget your consumers. Don't forget the reason that you're in business and the reason you're around is to help those people who you set out to help in the first place. As times change, people's needs change. So the mission that we had 3 years ago when we started, it needed a slight alteration. Beyond just that we became a restaurant from a brewery, now with those beers and with that food, maybe people need something a little different. So maybe we need to do family meals, which have more food for a better price so that people with those dietary restrictions can still enjoy eating out, even though budgets have become smaller.
Right.
You have to pivot everything around the people who you're trying to serve because they're the most important thing in any business.
Yeah. Now, how do you get into a positive mindset?
Start walking. I think I feel that mindset follows action. A lot of stuff's going to happen that may set your mood negatively, but at the end of the day, it's think, plan your action, take action, and then start putting one foot in front of the other. And if you have a strong mission that really helps people, that you could always look to that, and that can drive you. Start moving, and then the feelings will follow the actions. If you accomplish what you need to accomplish, you'll feel good about it. It isn't easy every day, and it's not realistic to say I'm going to start every day with a big happy smile and it's going to be easy and sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. But you have to keep moving, and that's how you make it happen.
You just keep persevering, right? That's some great advice. How do you define success?
I think it's a very individual, personal question for me.
Yes.
What motivates me mostly is personal growth. I just want to be better and know more than I knew yesterday, make better decisions, and be capable of more. So success is growing and doing better personally.
That's a good answer. That's perfect. I think that's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing insight in what you do and what Anything But Beer is all about, and some advice for our viewers that are watching right now. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, Voices for Impact is on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as well as podcasting platforms like Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So follow and like to say and subscribe to stay connected, and I'll see you next time on Voices for Impact.